Now at 11, dramatic video shows a gunman rob a Grand Rapids party store. Tonight, you'll hear from the clerks forced to the ground and how police were able to catch the bad guy just minutes later.
Sisters set up. Tonight we've got an undercover video of the sting as they try to hire a hitman, all to end a marriage.
Here's why how do you want this to go? I mean, you want it to be quick, you want me to just shoot him?
And tonight, more deadly storms streaking across the south. We'll show you the damage.
Plus, Target 8 tracks down the man who put Mosaica in charge of Muskegon Heights schools.
Why was the decision made to gamble our taxpayer dollars on a company that has this history?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Marley Ginter.
And I'm Brian Sterling. News 8 at 11 starts now.
Live, this is 24-hour News 8.
A brazen armed robbery caught on camera from every angle as an armed man jumps a Westside Grand Rapids convenience store counter and forces the clerks to the ground at gunpoint. He makes a run for it, but tonight police say they have their man in custody.
Leon Hendricks is live at the Butterworth party store with that surveillance video and has the story from the victims who went through it. Leon?
Hey, Brian and Marley, good evening. A terrifying ordeal here, but police had the perfect storm of a situation to be able to crack this case in about an hour after it happened. They had surveillance video showing the crime in progress, a prompt response from the Grand Rapids police, and a witness who was able to get police critical information to get them hot on the trail of their man.
It all went down in about 60 seconds from walk in to walk out, and the crime is in between. The perp is aggressive from the outset, quickly approaching the party store, and before the unsuspecting clerk even knew it, he was up and over the counter.
And give us all your money. Don't be stupid.
Forcefully pushing the victims to the ground.
I just cooperated with them. They told me anything happens like this, just give the money. Your life is more important than just the money.
Then it was fast out the door, quickly running to the north. But what he likely did not expect from the man he had just held at gunpoint was about to happen next. Back to that outside camera, freeze it there. That's one of the victims giving chase.
It was just like a rush. I didn't think about it. I just got in my car and just started chasing him.
He took off behind the robber, saw the getaway car, and Grand Rapids' finest took it from there.
Cops were here pretty quick.
Home surrounded, and in short order, they had their apparent suspect, hands in the air, surrendered. It's how GRPD says they wish it always worked. Witnesses cooperating. Shortly thereafter, it's back to business for the victim employee. Sadly,
you ever been through anything like that?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you've been robbed before?
Yes.
It seems it's part of this line of work.
It seems like taking a risk is hard.
But this time it was a quick resolution. Singh got to see the man police took away from the scene. He says he has no doubt.
They got the guy?
Yes.
He was the one with the gun?
Yes.
No doubt in your mind?
No doubt. He had the same features and same eyes and everything. And he was wearing the same shoes. At least one person off the street,
Now, in the end, the bad guy got away with about $2,000. Of course, if police do have the right man in custody, didn't get away with it for long. Now police are sorting through some of the other armed robberies that have happened here recently in this area. They're trying to see if they might be connected to this one. Reporting live on the west side of Grand Rapids, Leon Hendricks, 24-hour News 8.
New tonight, the video that's landed a Muskegon County woman in prison for years. In it, Diane Hart and her sister try to hire a hitman to kill her husband, but it turned out that they were really talking to an undercover state trooper. Today, Hart was sentenced to 30 years in prison. And new tonight, 24-hour News 8's Tom Hillen poured through every minute of the video, and he's here in studio. Tom?
Brian, watching this video at times, it's almost disturbing to hear just how casually the two sisters talk to the undercover officer about how they want the hit to be carried out.
Slow around up towards me.
Before Diane Hart and sister Vicky Brill get into the van, they question the hitman.
Hi. Just want to hop in real quick?
Okay. You undercover cop?
Do I look like an undercover cop?
But he was part of a sting set up after Hart's husband called police. He had been told by his brother-in-law that the sisters wanted to have him killed.
He's going to be there by himself tonight?
No, well, I'll be home.
We're all going to be there because we don't have nowhere to go.
The three talk about leaving the side door to the garage unlocked so that the hitman can get in, and then make some noise to lure Hart's husband out.
You want me to wait till he comes out to the garage and get him out there?
Yeah, because I got my grandson in the house.
The conversation then turns to how the murder will go down.
You're his wife. How do you want this to go? I mean, you want quick? You want me to just shoot him? You want me to? You want me right there? What do you want to do? I'll do whatever you want.
Not up here. Because he's going to be cremated.
Well, the fastest way is...
Yeah, but if I go out there and get a gallon of milk, I'd rather see him shot in the chest.
The undercover police officer explains that shooting him in the head would be quicker.
So chest or head, what would you rather me do?
Whatever's easier for you.
They agreed on a price of $5,000, which Hart would pay later. They offered jewelry as a down payment.
So when you leave this van, I mean, it's done. I'm considering this is going to happen. Okay, you guys are cool with that?
Yep.
Hart was sentenced today to serve between 6 and 30 years in prison. Her sister will be sentenced on May 6th. Marley.
Just chilling. Thank you for that report, Tom. Well, now to the latest on those deadly tornadoes down south. We have been tracking the developments here at the live desk. We've watched reporters standing in the middle of all of the debris. These two stations here are out of Huntsville, Alabama, as the meteorologists are still tracking these storms as they are making their way through right now. Already officials say at least 7 people have died in northern Alabama. Meanwhile, in Mississippi, 1 death and several people are hurt near Tupelo after a large tornado damaged homes and downed trees and power lines this afternoon. Dozens of homes and businesses were damaged, and this, of course, follows that very deadly Sunday. Dozens of tornadoes in Arkansas alone. Twisters left a path of destruction more than 100 miles long. At least 15 people were killed yesterday. Now, of course, this is still a volatile situation as these storms continue to move through, so we will bring you the very latest in the morning on Daybreak. We also now want to get to our weather forecast here. It's been very windy outside. Those winds have been dying down, but now it seems like we're tracking some showers. We want to get to the 24-hour tracking center with Chief Meteorologist Bill Steffen. Bill?
Yeah, Marley, we didn't have much rain during the day today, but rain is going to be increasing here over the next several hours. Let's go back to Storm Track Live and show you what's out there. Watch down toward I-94. You see this just kind of spring into existence right there. This line of showers will continue to move north up toward Grand Rapids. We've already had a sprinkle come through Grand Rapids and dampen the roads just a little bit. Stop her here for just a second. The rain that's down toward Kalamazoo gets up to the Grand Rapids area here about quarter to 1 o'clock or so, or a little bit before that. And then we have another area of rain that should be coming up toward the area here after midnight, here around 2:20, coming out of the Chicago area. Let's see if we can expand out a little bit. There's been some lightning with this. In fact, earlier some severe thunderstorm warnings with this, but nothing severe here. A little bit of lightning there in the Chicago area, and this area will kind of rotate on up. So it looks like a rather damp start to the day tomorrow. Also, I want to point out that the winds are dying down. We had a gust of 50 miles an hour at Lake Macatawa, 46 here in Grand Rapids. We still are pretty breezy out there, but not as windy as we were, and it will stay breezy here into the day tomorrow. Here's the way it looks for the early morning. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s here. There'll be some scattered shower activity around, and that will linger. Some warmer air comes in tomorrow. We should be up into the low 60s by around the noon hour. Coming up, we'll talk about our chances for rain the rest of this week.
Thank you, Bill. Muskegon Heights Schools is cutting its ties with Mosaica Education, the private for-profit company that signed on to run the fledgling district 3 years before their contract is set to expire. The two sides say the breakup is mutual. Target 8 investigator Danny Carlson started looking into the company weeks ago as it struggled to pay teachers and uncovered some problems in the past. Tonight, she's asking why the state got into business with this company in the first place.
I spent days at the Michigan Department of Education reading through documents about these charter schools. And what I learned about Mosaica's history in the state of Michigan over the past decade may shock you. I then tried to contact the emergency manager who signed Mosaica, but he's now the emergency manager for Pontiac schools and turned out to be difficult to get on camera.
It's a topic former Muskegon Heights emergency manager Don Weatherspoon initially told me in an email he, quote, wasn't inclined to talk about. But we tracked him down today in Lansing. We'd just like to talk to you about Mosaica. He is.
I'd rather stop so you and I can talk about some things first.
Okay, but initially you said you didn't even want to talk with us, so I'm...
Because I'm not there anymore.
Right, and I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about the decision to... Mosaica has a history of... Yes. But after talking to the Treasury Department's press secretary, Weatherspoon agreed to answer a few of our questions about his 2012 decision to hire Mosaica Education, Inc. to run the newly created Muskegon Heights Public School Academy. That decision was made despite Mosaica's past, which includes several Michigan schools shutting down after Mosaica took over. Like what happened in 2011 at Capital Area Academy in Lansing. It was forced to shut its doors after its charter wasn't renewed for things like low MEP scores and concerns about the academy's leadership practices and curriculum. And Detroit Advantage Academy shut down because of low MEP scores and poor student performance. And a year after the school fired Mosaica, the company was awarded more than $2 million for management fees, payrolls the company had advanced the district, and building improvements.
Why was the decision made to gamble our taxpayer dollars on a company that has this history?
It wasn't a gamble. It was a decision that was made based on those people who had responded to the RFP, and during the interview process, all of that was disclosed to us.
But still, the company has a problem of running failing school districts and then suing those school districts. Didn't it seem like a risk? You're saying it's not a gamble, but it seems like a gamble.
We put conditions in the contract for very close oversight, and we did monitor them very carefully.
But in January 2013, about 4 months after Mosaica took over, questions were raised about how the new district was working. A letter from Weatherspoon's attorney to the company states there was never a clear list of the state and federal educational mandatory requirements in all areas, and that Mosaica was slow in meeting state-mandated transparency requirements.
You actually even addressed that when you were the emergency manager, saying there needed to be stricter academic supervision.
That's correct. If you look at the contract, it did say that they had to perform at a level where the kids could graduate from college. Now, given the academic status of those children, some of them could not move forward fast enough to get at grade level for reading, etc.
Then, 5 months later, in May 2013, Weatherspoon himself wrote the charter district, saying Mosaica needed to let him know about all financial transactions because there had been some difficulties. That was about a year into the contract. He requested quarterly reports to avoid what he called, quote, past misunderstandings about borrowing and expenses, a contract that Western Michigan University professor Gary Muron says is in Mosaica's favor.
Would you think it's more beneficial to the district and the state, or more beneficial to the management company?
It's more beneficial to the management company. It's set up so that they're going to get theirs, no matter what their performance.
Muron does yearly reports on charter schools and the companies that run them.
And if we look at the relations with the boards and the number of times they're being fired, Mosaica stands out.
But when Mosaica gets fired, Mosaica tends to sue.
Right, and it becomes expensive for the board or for the taxpayers in the end to cover that. So that's why we see a lot of Mosaica in the news in different states, is because of this very difficult separations that occur.
But in this case, state and district leaders promise the split was mutual, and despite past suits the company has filed and sometimes won, this time, they say that won't happen.
Are you sure they're not going to sue?
I believe there's a provision that they won't sue. Neither side will sue.
Will the school district be open in September?
Yes, ma'am. That's a definite.
That's it. We're done. Thanks.
Although the CEO of Mosaica has spoken to me in the past, today he did not return my call. State leaders today approved a $1.4 million loan for Muskegon Heights, which will help pay off costs and keep the district open through the rest of this school year. State leaders say they hope to have a new company in place running the district by the end of June.
A man accused of producing child porn and having it at a daycare is officially charged. Coming up, we have the court documents showing where he allegedly made the videos. And after racist remarks are made by the Clippers owner, is Magic Johnson interested in buying the team? Plus, we'll show you all the companies that will no longer be sponsoring the Clippers.
We'll have a chance of showers during the early morning, and there could be a rumble of thunder. Early morning temperatures will be in the mid to upper 40s, and winds will be out of the east at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Roads will be wet. Up next, we'll talk about more rain and the Storm Team 8-day forecast.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
Well, the dry air ate into the rain showers during the day today, so much of the day was dry. Rainfall amounts were anywhere from a trace to about 1/10 of an inch across the area. We've had some rain around this evening. You can see the showers here that are north of Interstate 94. Those are working their way up toward Grand Rapids. We've had some sprinkles come through Grand Rapids and the Muskegon area, and there's more rain down toward Chicago. So let's track some of this for you. There could be a flash of lightning in here, but certainly not anticipating anything severe. The showers there coming into Allegan County are up into Grand Rapids at around 12:35, up into southern Owego County at 12:51. These showers down here make it back up to Kalamazoo at around 12:36. And if we expand out a little bit, you can see that there's more shower activity down toward the Chicago area, and all of this is going to rotate on up. So it looks like kind of a wet start to the day, and we'll, during the day, have a chance for a shower or a thundershower. There is a slight risk for a severe thunderstorm in the afternoon east of our area, east of I-69, Hillsdale, Jackson area off to the east. And here's just a quick peek at some of the tornado reports today. Already we're up to 33 tornadoes, and some of them quite large down there, especially toward Mississippi, Tennessee, and Alabama. We're at 51 right now in Grand Rapids, heading down to the mid-40s. Sturgis already at 46. You'll probably stay about where you are much of the night, and if you're in the North Country, you may hit the low 40s as soon as the rain starts. Winds 21 miles an hour, so it's breezy, but we were up around 30 miles an hour during the day today, with some gusts up around 40 to 50. The gusts right now, peak gust last hour 28 here in Grand Rapids, 36 the highest there at the regional airport in Holland. Here's what we're tracking for you. First of all, as you see, we've got the winds diminishing a little bit here. A few showers, possible thunder shower here for the day tomorrow. And tomorrow's going to turn out to be the warmest day of the week as cool air comes back into the picture here for much of the rest of the week. These are the showers that are coming up here tonight as we get to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see showers over Grand Rapids. So again, roads will be wet, temperatures well above freezing. Don't have to worry about any ice. A few scattered showers during the day, but during the evening hours, they'll be quite widely scattered. Showers continue here for tomorrow night and into the day on Wednesday. High temperatures tomorrow, 70 from Grand Rapids south, low to mid 60s off to the north, and it will be a touch cooler if you're going to be over by Lake Michigan. 8-day forecast looks like this: 70 tomorrow, mid 60s on Wednesday. After that, cooler temperatures. There'll be a chance for showers each day, though they will be fairly widely scattered. In fact, all the way into the weekend, we'll have a chance for an isolated shower here as temperatures go back to about 10 degrees cooler than average. Tomorrow morning on daybreak, a real treat. Ben Holcomb tweeted out, one of our spotters, that he saw the biggest tornado he's ever seen in his life. He saw the Moore, Oklahoma tornado, which was an EF5. So he's got a story to tell for you. Get up at daybreak and check that out.
Yeah, got to hear that one.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Next, why the mayor and MDOT director were filling potholes in Grand Rapids today.
The story we thought couldn't get any worse did today. Police say that a man accused of producing child pornography actually made it in the Lowell daycare where he was living. 22-year-old Travis Steele was arraigned today. Authorities started their investigation back in December when he admitted to having the porn. But then just last week, Homeland Security re-interviewed Steele at his job. And that's when investigators say he admitted to making videos of unclothed preteen boys, some of which were made at the daycare. Right now, investigators don't know if the victims in the videos were daycare children or not. Officials say federal charges will likely come down next week.
A week from today, Grand Rapids voters will be asked to extend the city's temporary income tax another 15 years to pay for road repairs. These votes are ripe for photo ops, and this vote is no exception. That's Grand Rapids Mayor George Hartwell walking by right there, and State Transportation Director Kirk Studel under those construction hats filling potholes along Lake Michigan Drive. On the other side of town, the opposition was hard at work going door to door.
We are paying gas tax and sales tax specifically designated for roads, but they're not getting done.
Many cities across the state have some kind of a millage that goes specifically to streets, and I think in the end that's always going to be part of the solution.
Again, the election is a week from tomorrow.
Up next in sports, the Griffins get ready for Game 3 at the Van Andel.
That's right, and after sports, you'll hear from the West Michigan college student about his backflip fail at graduation.
Well, the Red Wings' loss is the Griffins' gain. Shortly after the Wings were eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs, Riley Shane and Thomas Yurko were returned to Grand Rapids. Both are back in town and skated at an optional practice at Van Andel Arena this morning. Defenseman Xavier Ouellet was also returned to the Griffins. Without them, the Griffins won the first 2 games in their best-of-5 series against Abbotsford on the road. Now they're home. A year ago, reinforcements helped the Griffins win the Calder Cup. This time, they'll rely on these guys to lead.
A year ago, they were good pieces to the puzzle. I think now they can be more in a go-to role than they were a year ago. There was other guys ahead of them maybe in that go-to role, and now they get a chance to be those go-to type guys. I think it'll be great for their development, and hopefully it's good for us as well.
I think they want me to be as, the player as, Gus was last year, Tats, in the playoffs, and be a leader.
It's going to be a lot of fun to be relied on a little more, so we're definitely looking forward to it. Got a lot of close friends here, and it's fun to be back.
On the NHL, Dan Bilesma's Penguins a chance to advance to round 2. They played their first elimination game against Columbus, and in the first period, Bilesma put Kunitz, Malkin, and Crosby on the same line. Pays off. Malkin, first goal of the playoffs, still in the first period on the power play. Crosby to Malkin, scored his second of the game. He had a hat trick. Penguins hold on to win it. Final score 4-3. They win the series 4-2. Out of the NBA, where LeBron James and the Heat moved on to round 2, but showed solidarity to their NBA brethren from the Clippers and sent a message to the league. Do something about Clipper owner Donald Sterling, just like the Clippers did yesterday, took off their warm-ups and had their shooting shirts inside out. Michael Jordan can only watch and see his team, who finally made the playoffs, put up a fight, but LeBron, the dunk right there off the steal, and then look at this move by LeBron. Goes baseline, fall-away jumper. He had 31, and the Heat sweep the Bobcats 109-98. Take you out to Indianapolis now, where the Pacers' nightmare continues. Mike Scott, 5 3-pointers in the second quarter. On 4 consecutive trips, he nailed them. They had a 30-point lead in this game. Hold on to win it 107-97. Hawks lead that series now 3-2. That is the 8 seed beating the 1 seed. Yahoo Sports reports Magic Johnson and his partners from the LA Dodgers are interested in purchasing the LA Clippers should they be put up for sale. Clippers owner Donald Sterling is under fire after TMZ released an audio tape alleged to be him telling his girlfriend not to bring black people to his games. The NBA is investigating the tapes, has scheduled a press conference for tomorrow to release some findings. Meanwhile, a number of Clipper sponsors have pulled out of their sponsorships, and tonight at an event in Gary, Indiana, Magic Johnson called for fans to take action if the league doesn't.
Now, the boycott, if nothing happens, then you can boycott in the offseason, and not just the Clippers, the whole league has to. Because if he's not thrown out, you got to do something.
And take a look at these companies that have pulled out their sponsorships already. And those are some pretty big companies, and you know that is a lot of money now that the Clippers, if he stays there, those all go away next year. Mm-hmm. Who's going to come back with him as owner?
Right.
That's one of those many things the league has to look at right now.
You just don't see a way that this is even salvageable for
not if he stays on as owner at this point.
All right, we'll watch for that tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jack.
Next, the West Michigan college student who flipped on his face at graduation explains why he tried the stunt. Oh my, it is the video going viral tonight. A Davenport University graduate attempts a backflip after getting his diploma, but fails.
Ozzie Smith, Bobby Blank, who was able to get up and walk off the stage, and earlier tonight at 5, he joined us live in studio. I've watched this over and over again, and I'm just, so you know you're going to do it. You're going through this in your mind. What happened on the execution?
Well, I actually didn't know I was going to do it at first. I do backflips all the time, and I was up there, and my family was cheering for me, and after I shook all the hands, there was an open space, and I gave it a go, and it didn't work out so well. But
no, it didn't.
He's got a future in the circus, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
You can see that full interview at woodtv.com.
Oh, wonder if he regrets it.
I'm glad he was okay.
Yeah.
You won't flip over the weather in the morning, but get the update on Daybreak.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.